Hey everyone, and welcome to Isms by Josie. Today we're going to be continuing doing this winter fawn from a crochet kit that I got from Amazon. For my returning subscribers, thank you so much for tuning in. And for my new viewers, please consider subscribing, share, hit that like button, leave a comment below, and click on that notification bell for future videos. So today, you guys, we are going to continue where we left off. We have the legs, we have the body, front and back legs, we have the head and the face. Today we're going to be doing the neck, abdomen, and then possibly the ears and tail and mouth. So we'll see if we can get to assembly, but I feel like these are the parts that we'll be able to do in this video. I'll try to keep it under 2 hours, but no guarantees. Okay, so for the neck, we're going to be using coffee. In case you didn't see the other videos, I am using a 2mm crochet hook. Very tiny, but that's what they call for. I will be repeating initial stitches 3 times in this video. Thereafter, it's going to be normal pace. So if you need to speed down or slow up the video, click on the gear button at the corner of the screen. You'll have playback options to go fast or slow. If you don't need to hear me talking, you could always lower the volume on your device and then click on the closed caption button. Okay, so we're going to take the coffee and we're going to start this neck. So this kit comes with all the colors and yarns that you're going to need to complete this winter fawn. So we're going to take the coffee. We have to start crocheting from the 21st stitch marked with the stitch marker. So if you recall last video, when we were sewing things together, they had us use stitch markers. So I have 2. I have it placed on the 5th and the 21st of round 11. So it is saying that we are going to start crocheting from the 12th stitch marked with the stitch marker. Calculate 2 stitches at the junction. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna have to pause that and I'll come back in to let you know what the heck this was talking about, because I just gotta wrap my head around these instructions. Okay, I got it. So before we start this, I'm gonna show you how to cast on to your hook with a slip knot. So you're gonna take this here and we are going to use our pinky and ring finger and our thumb to hold the end of this yarn right here. Then I'm going to take my index and middle finger and we're going to hold the yarn apart nice and taut. I'm going to grab my hook and we're going to lie it perpendicular to the yarn. We're going to go down, out, and around to make a nice loop around this hook. So let's do this again. Hold it apart, perpendicular to the yarn. We're going to go down, out, and around. And I'm going to slide this down towards my thumb. I'm going to take my middle finger on my right hand and just push where it crosses on the hook so I can let go of my left hand. Then I'm going to gather up some yarn around my finger on my left hand. Okay, and once I have that, I'm going to pinch the end here with my thumb and my middle finger. I'm then going to slide the hook down towards my thumb, and where it crosses, I'm going to pinch with my thumb and my middle finger so that my hook can no longer slide up and down. We're going to do a yarn over. So you take the hook and you kind of put the yarn over the hook. We're going to drag this strand underneath this one. So pull that through the loop, just like that. Then I'm going to overhand my hook like this. I'm going to make sure that my thumb and my middle finger are pinching the end and hold on to it tight, don't lose it. This knot in the middle, we're going to push it towards my thumb. So two things might happen. The knot's going to either get smaller and smaller and can't move anymore, or it's going to butt up against the thumb and you can't push it any further down. So let's start pushing this knot and see which one goes first. Doesn't matter as long as you get that knot to be nice and snug. Okay, so it stopped right here. I'm now going to take my thumb and my middle finger holding the excess piece here. I'm going to pinch that and I'm going to pull it just a little more tightly, this knot. You don't have to pull it too much, you just want to make sure that this knot is nice and snug. So now I'm going to grip the knot with my index and my thumb. I'm going to slide this knot close to the hook. Not all the way up to the hook, but close to it. So let's pull that close to the hook. We're going to leave a little bit of space here. If you closed it too much, you can always undo it and pull it back out. You want to leave space on your hook so we can slide this off your hook like that. We're going to set this aside right here. I'm going to grab the body of the deer. This is stitch 5, this is stitch 21. We're going to stick our hook into stitch 21. And it says for the first round we're going to chain 1, a single crochet stitch, a decreasing stitch, 7 single crochet stitches, a decreasing stitch, 7 single crochet stitches, a slip stitch, and we're going to end up with 17. So you want to grab your little loop you made, you want to slip that back onto the hook, and then gather up some yarn with your finger. Okay. Then we're going to do our chain 1. So just, it's as if we would yarn over and pull through the loop. In this case, we didn't yarn over, but we slipped this loop onto our hook, and we're going to pull that through these loops like this, and that's our technical chain 1. So now we are going to do a single crochet stitch. So you can move this marker to the side. I'm not too sure if I want to remove it just yet, but move it to the side. We're going to stick our hook back into, oh wait, let me plan this out a little bit better. So in this crochet kit, rather than go to the next stitch, it has you going into the same stitch, and doing that after we just pulled it through, we might end up undoing what we just did. So we slipped it through. We're just going to do another chain 1. We need to close this opening here, you see, because if we go back into this stitch and we do a chain 1, it's just going to slip right off because this isn't attached to anything at the moment. It's just going through the hole, if that makes any sense. So let's, after we pull that loop through this stitch, let's just do another chain stitch. So yarn over, pull up a loop, and so now we have a closed stitch around this one. Okay, so we're going to stick our hook back into the same stitch that has this marker, the same stitch that we put the hook in initially. Okay, and now we're going to do our single crochet stitch. So that is a yarn over. We're going to pull that through the loop. So now you should have 2 loops onto your hook. We're going to yarn over, and you're going to pull that through 2 of the loops. So now we have our chain and our single crochet stitch. Next, we're going to do a decreasing stitch, and the decreasing stitch is fairly easy. We're taking 2 stitches and turning them into 1. So there's a stitch here. We're going to stick our hook into the next stitch. We're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. So now you have 2 loops onto your hook. Then we're going to go into the next stitch here, the second stitch. We're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. So now we have 3 loops on our hook. So now we're going to yarn over and we're going to pull through all 3 loops. So we did a decreasing stitch. We took 2 stitches and made 1. Okay. So then we have to do 7 single crochet stitches. So now we're reaching the 5th stitch marker. So starting at the 5th stitch marker, we're going to do 7 single crochet stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So after we do 7 single crochet stitches, it has us doing another decreasing stitch. So we're going to use these 2 stitches. So stick your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, then put your hook into the next stitch over, yarn over, and pull up a loop. So now we have 3 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. So once we do a decreasing stitch, we're going to do 7 single crochet stitches. So into the next stitch, do your single crochet stitch, 1, we're going to do 6 more, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay. Once we have 7 single crochet stitches, we're going to do a slip stitch and then have 17 stitches. So, all right, make sure this marker is at, actually I want to remove this marker now. I don't think we need it. Okay, because I need to see the top of the stitch that we first did. So we're going to put our hook into the top of the first single stitch we did. We're going to yarn over and we're going to slip through all the loops on our hook, and that is a slip stitch. So now we can take our marker and we can mark the top of this slip stitch we just made. And I'm also going to remove the other marker as well, since we don't need that anymore. But now we are on to round 2. So for round 2, we're going to chain 1. We're going to do 4 half double crochet stitches, 5 single crochet stitches, an increasing stitch, 5 single crochet stitches, 2 half double crochet stitches, a slip stitch, and end up with 18. So let's gather up some yarn here. Okay. All right. So let's chain 1. It's a yarn over, and we're going to pull this through the loop. Now, a half double crochet stitch. So I want to show you how to do that. We have to yarn over. We're going to put the hook into the same stitch that we did the chain 1. Okay. We're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, then we're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. So that's a half double crochet stitch. We have to do 3 more of these. So yarn over, put your hook into the next stitch, we're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, So we're going to yarn over again and pull through all 3 loops. 2, we've got to do 2 more half double crochet stitches. So yarn over, put your hook into the next stitch. We're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops. 1 more. So yarn over, put your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops. Okay. So after 4 half double crochet stitches, we're going to do 5 single crochet stitches. So into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. 4 more. Into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. We gotta do 3 more. Into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and we just have to do 2 more single crochet stitches. 1, 2. Alright, and then once we have 5 single crochet stitches, we're going to do an increasing stitch. So increasing stitches are basically 2 single crochet stitches in 1 stitch. So we're going to use this next stitch here, put in your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. To do the increasing stitch, we're going to stick our hook back into this same loop, stitch, yarn over, and pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 2 loops. Okay, then we're going to do 5 single crochet stitches. So into the next stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, then we're going to do 2 half double crochet stitches. So yarn over, put your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. 1 more time, yarn over, put your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Let's remove this marker. Now we're going to go into the first half double crochet stitch we made. We're going to put our hook in the top loops, and we're going to yarn over and pull through all loops to do a slip stitch. And then I'm going to take my marker and we are going to slip that through the top loops, and then we're going to start the next round. Okay, so now for rounds 3, 4, and 5, we're going to chain 1 and do 18 single crochet stitches in a slip stitch. So this is going to be a straightforward 18 single crochet stitches with a slip stitch at the end. So I'll do 1 row with you, and then you can do the other 2 while I do the other 2 in silence. It says, after finishing the crochet, leave a 4-inch yarn tail, cut the yarn and hide the yarn tail. Please refer to the video for specific crochet methods. Okay, so let us just start this round 3. Okay, so what we're going to do is chain 1 like that. Then we're going to do 18 single crochet stitches. Let me just see if I have to use the same stitch. I might have to. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. Okay, So into the same stitch as the chain stitch, we're going to yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and we're going to do this 17 more times now. Okay, I want to remove this marker, and then we are going to go into the first stitch that we made, top loops, okay, and then we're going to do a yarn over, and we're going to pull through all loops to do a slip stitch, and then we're going to mark off the top of the slip stitch that we just made. Okay, and then, oh darn, phooey. If you're counting, you don't have to remove this. This is 3, but now this is 4 and 5. We can remove 1 because we know that we removed it and put it on top. All right, you guys, so for the next 2 rows, we're going to do the same 18 stitches all around, and we're going to do the slip stitch after we finish each round. And then I'm going to come back in and show you how we finish this off. Okay. Well, I think I had some stitch issues there, but I got to pass the 5th round. So now I'm going to leave 4 inches of yarn tail. So I'm going to get my ruler here. I'm going to measure off 4 inches right about here. Grab my scissors. Okay. Alright, what's this now? Hide the yarn tail. Alright, so I'm going to fasten this off, and all it is doing a yarn over, pulling that through the loop all the way out, and then tightening up that stitch. And it says to hide it, so I don't know, I'm going to stick it in the neck maybe? Okay, so we have our neck. Now we're going to do the abdomen. So for the abdomen, we're going to make the flesh, use the flesh color. This is what they have for flesh color. I can't. Okay. So, position the deer body upside down with the neck facing downwards and start crocheting from the previously marked position. Say, what are you talking about? There's no marked position anywhere. The abdomen has total of 38 stitches, 8 single crochet stitches for the 2 front legs, 10 single crochet stitches for the 2 hind legs, and 20 single crochet stitches for the chain stitch. Okay. So let me be right back and figure out what the heck this thing is talking about. Okay. So after research, we have to actually mark, and maybe it said it here and I missed it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see it anywhere, but it says that we have to mark the 3rd stitch. So we're going to take the front of the body, the front legs, open it like this, and we are going to count 3 stitches. You can kind of see the stitching here. So 1, 2, 3. Put your marker on the top loops of the 3rd stitch. This is technically the bottom from where we were crocheting, so try to slip it through if you can, as best as you can. I will say that this is not my favorite. This is atrocious. If I hadn't said it yet in the previous videos. Okay, so then we have to grab our hook. We're going to cast on the flesh color. And I don't know whose flesh this is, but it doesn't match mine. Okay, so we're going to take the ring and pinky and thumb and hold it down on one end. We're going to take our index and middle finger and hold the yarn apart like we did before. We're going to lay the hook perpendicular to the yarn. We're going to go down, out, and around to create this loop. I'm going to bring it down towards the thumb. I'm going to take my middle finger on my right hand and just hold down where it crosses so that I can let go of my left hand. we're going to gather up some yarn on my left hand. I'm going to pinch the end of this yarn and then pull the hook down towards the thumb. Once I reach the thumb, I'm going to pinch where it crosses so that I can no longer move my hook up or down the yarn. I'm going to do a yarn over, and we're going to pull this strand through this loop like that. I'm going to overhand my hook. I'm going to make sure that I pinch this end here, and I'm going to push the knot towards my left thumb. So keep doing that till you can't do it anymore. Once you hit a stopping point, grab the end with your thumb and your middle finger and pull on it to tighten up the knot just a little bit. Then I'm going to grab the knot with my index and thumb here, and we're going to pull this knot closer to the hook. So let's do that. And then once you get close to the hook, we are going to slip this off. Okay. So now we are going to put this through the third stitch in the front there. I want to remove this marker because I can't see. So place your hook onto the top of that third stitch. So basic, okay, well, let's do this first. Slip your loop onto the hook. We're going to pull that through this stitch, and then we're going to chain one, so yarn over and pull through that loop, so we have our chain one. So we have to have 38 stitches total. So for the front legs, we have to have so in order for this to work, if we had 8 single crochet stitches on 2 front legs, that's 16. Okay, 10 stitches on the back legs, so that would be 20. That's already 36. So that is not possible. What they mean to say is for the 2 front legs total is 8 single crochet stitches. So each front leg is going to get 4, each back leg is going to get 5, and then this makes no sense whatsoever. But we're going in around the body here, so we have 18. We need to do 8. We needed 18 more stitches that are not part of the leg, the hind legs or the front legs. So this is going to be a nightmare. But I'm going to just have to keep count and see, because that makes no sense to me at all. If it does to you, leave a comment below. So we're going to stick our hook into the next stitch over and do a single crochet stitch, which is a yarn, like we did before, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Right, so we have 2. Oh no, we don't. We have a chain 1. Ugh, okay, let's do this all over again. Sorry. We did our chain 1. I was too busy reading instructions. We have to do a single crochet stitch in the same stitch that we did. Stick your hook into the same stitch that we had put that marker. We're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So we have our first single crochet stitch. You know what, while we're here, we could mark where this is, because it's going to be a while before we come back here, and rather than have to count it over, we can just look for the marker. Okay, so we have 1. Now we're going to do another one. Stick your hook into the next stitch over, I'm going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So now we have 2. So now I'm going to go into this leg. This leg I have to figure out a way to just have 4 stitches. So stick your hook into the stitch of the leg. 1. Right, go into the next stitch over. 2. The next stitch over. 3. The next stitch over. 4. So 4 stitches around this leg. Okay. Then we're going to go to the side of the body. So we're going to see if this works out. If it doesn't, I'm going to have to cut this back and redo the video. Fun. Alright. I lost count already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8, 9, 10, and 11. So now we have to add 5 stitches, so we're going to end up with 16. So 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Okay. So we have 5 around this leg. How many do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if we know we have 5 on this side and we're at 16, 21, 22, 23, 27, 32. We have to have 6 in the back. All right. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Then we have to have 5 around the legs, so we're going to end up with 27. Let's finish 22 here, 22. Okay, 5 more around this leg, so 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. So we know 5 was on the side, so you should have 32 for this side. 7, 28, 29, 30, 31, and 32. Oh, that doesn't sound right. I'm short by 1. 32. Adding, oh no, adding 4 is 36. Forgot the front leg has 4 stitches, so 4 stitches around the front leg. 32, 33, 34, 35, and 36. Okay. And then we're going to add 2 more to the front. One and 2. Okay. Then we're going to do a slip stitch to the first stitch that we made. I'm going to remove this marker, and we are going to mark the last stitch we just made. Okay. And then we're going to do the next round. Oh, nightmare. Okay. So for, was that considered? Maybe that was round 1. Yeah, I guess that was round 1. Next. I don't like these instructions. So round 2, we're going to chain 1, do 2 single crochet stitches, a decreasing stitch, 13 single crochet stitches, a decreasing stitch, 2 single crochet stitches, a decreasing stitch, 13 crochet stitches, a decreasing stitch, a slip stitch, and end up with 34. Okay. So let's get this. I want to gather up some yarn here. All right. So we're going to chain 1. We're going to do 2 single crochet stitches. So stick your hook back into the same stitch that we did the chain 1 and do your single crochet stitch. 1, 2. Okay. Then we're going to do a decreasing stitch. So how to do a decreasing stitch is we're going to take 2 stitches and turn them into 1. So stick your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, stick your hook into the next stitch over, yarn over, pull up a loop. So now you have 3 loops on your hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops, and that's a decreasing stitch. So then we're going to do 13 single crochet stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, then we're going to do another decreasing stitch. So into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. We have 3 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Then we're going to do 2 single crochet stitches, 1 and 2. Then we're going to do another decreasing stitch. So into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. We have 3 loops on our hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. So after that, we're going to do another 13 single crochet stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11, 12, and 13. Okay. Then we have to do a decreasing stitch. So into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, into the next stitch over, yarn over, pull, oh my goodness. Yarn over, pull up a loop. We have 3 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. So now we get to do a slip stitch. So I'm going to remove this marker. And I am going to put my hook into the first single crochet stitch we made, yarn over and slip through all loops off my hook. Alright, I don't think we're gonna need this. Let's reread this again. After finishing the crochet, leave 10 inches yarn tail. So let me get my ruler again. I'm gonna measure 10 inches. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to yarn over. We're going to fasten this off. We're going to yarn over and we're going to pull that through all the way out and tighten it up. Alright, so it's saying finish the crochet, leave a 10-inch yarn tail, stuff the deer's body with sufficient fiber fill, close the piece, and sew it together using the remaining yarn. Cut the yarn and hide the yarn tail. Please refer to the video for specific methods. Now, interestingly enough, I say you just sew the abdomen closed because we still have a hole up here that we can put fiber fill in, but actually also maybe we can fill a little bit of the behind. So let me get my tapestry needle. Okay. I'm gonna thread up that tail, that 10-inch tail, like this. Okay. I'm gonna grab some fiber fill, and that's this stuff we've been using in the previous videos. I'm gonna grab enough to fill the body. I'm gonna start with a little piece to fill the behind. I want to be able to fill the back side. I could stick more in. It's just when you try to sew with fiber fill, you can get caught in your sewing, and then it'll rip through your project and you'll have a fuzzy hot mess. So let's just put as much as we can, and then we can always fill the neck with more. Actually, I think I could put this whole thing in. Okay, so let's start out with this. And I'm just gonna sew the abdomen closed. I'm gonna use some surgery skills here. So try to make even your stitches with your body. Two, 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 two. Once you find your even, Steven stitches, then you can start coming in and sewing your stitches together. Ah, lost this. I have to rethread it. Okay. In the last stitches, then you just gotta figure out a way to tie it, and I don't know how to do that. And I don't know if the instructions tell you to, so oh my gosh, what just happened here? Alright, so what I'm gonna do is I have my loop from the sewing. I'm just gonna put it through the needle through the loop twice. I think that will make a sufficient knot. Okay. Remove the needle. I'm gonna grab my hook here. I'm gonna slip it just under the surface of the abdomen, and I'm going to kind of creep up where the excess piece is. I'm going to do a little yarn over, and I'm going to pull this back into the body. Oh, and I accidentally pulled it out through the other side. No worries, just go under the surface again, come up near where the excess piece is, and then you can drag that into the body as well to hide those ends. And so now we have our deer with the abdomen. Now fill it how you feel the stuffing, how the firmness should be. So I like my dolls to be a little on the firm side, so I'm gonna grab more stuffing and I'm gonna stuff it through the neck hole. And just push that stuffing that we had inserted, and you can push it down into the body more. So I'm pushing it back near the little derriere, make this little puffy tummy, very happy and full. Winter fawn. Fall was good, they ate enough. Still eating away wherever they are. I'm just gonna stuff the front end now to match the back end. And I don't know how much we have to fill up to the neck. We can always take it out. So I'm just gonna try to fill a little bit up to the neck. Is a healthy little deer. Okay, and then we're going to move on to the ears. We're going to make two. Anytime that there's a body part made twice, I do the second one off camera to save time on the video, but here is our deer body now. It is looking really nice, and whether or not this is right, I mean, it ended up looking pretty okay. Okay, so let's do the ears. I'm going to do one here and one off camera. We are going to be working the magic ring. Let's pull out the coffee again. I'm going to grab some of this yarn here. I'm going to show you guys another, this time again, I don't even know how many times I've done this in this video, how to do the adjustable ring. So we're going to take this yarn and wrap it around twice, once, twice, with a little bit of overage to put our middle finger on there. You can tighten up the strands a little bit, and we're going to palm up, face your palm up. I'm going to stick the hook underneath the 3 strands. I'm going to pull this back out, but I'm going to drag this strand underneath these 2. So let's do that now. 1, 2, and then we have to close the adjustable ring. So we're going to do a yarn over, and we're going to pull that through the loop like this. Oh, and you know what? I missed one. Try to gather up all the yarn. So this yarn is not the best quality, so it kind of separates easily. So try to grab all of the yarn. Again, I'm just going to slip this under the 2 strands, and then we're going to close this adjustable ring. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to remove my middle finger. We're going to take off the ring from your index finger, and then we're going to start the round off. We have to chain 1 and do 4 single crochet stitches and then a slip stitch. So I'm going to do a yarn over, pull that through the loop to make our chain 1. Then we're going to do 4 single crochet stitches. So into the magic ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. That's 1 single crochet stitch, and then we have our chain stitch. Into the magic ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Now we have 2 single crochet stitches and a chain stitch. Put your hook into the magic ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. We have 3 single crochet stitches and a chain stitch. Into the magic ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So now we have 4 single crochet stitches and a chain stitch. So now we have to close the magic ring. So hold the stitches at the bottom here, not too tightly. We're going to pull this excess piece, and we're going to watch to see which one of these 2 loops are going to go in first. So pull that and just observe the loops. Once you identify which one comes out, which one starts to move, you stop pulling. That loop that just went in first, we're going to pull the bottom half out so that this other loop can come in. So pull out that lower half of the loop that went in first, and you can see now that that other loop is going in. Pull it until that other loop is completely gone into the magic ring, and then once it's completely gone, stop pulling. We're going to then pull on this excess piece. So you might still have a little hole there. That's okay. We're going to close that up by doing this. So pull on that excess piece till that other loop goes in as well. Then, to make sure that the hole is completely gone, we're going to pull in the other direction, the opposite direction, and a little bit up, and start tugging on that just a little bit, just to get that little bit left closed. And so now there's like nothing left open here. So now we're going to count back 4 stitches from the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stick your hook into the 4th stitch. We're going to be doing a slip stitch. So yarn over and pull through all of the loops, and we've just completed the first round. I'm going to mark the top of the last stitch made to keep track of where we are. Just make sure you clear it. I told you, like, the quality of this yarn isn't that great, so if you can try to clear it to where you gather up both loops without tearing into the yarn, that would be great. Okay, you can kind of feel for it. Also, if you pull the marker, if you see a clean hole right next to it, that means that you cleared the yarn. Okay, so now we're going to move on to round 2. So for round 2, we're going to chain 1, do 4 increasing stitches, and do a slip stitch, and end up with 8. So I think this might be the first time we did an increasing stitch. Maybe not. No, yeah, we already did the increasing stitch, but I'm just going to show you anyway. So Yarn over, chain 1. We're going to do an increasing stitch into the next stitch. So let's do our single crochet stitch, and we're going to do this twice in the same stitch. So stick your hook back into the same stitch you just used, and we're going to do another single crochet stitch. That's an increasing stitch, 2 in 1. So in the next stitch, do an increasing stitch. Oh, make sure to clear the yarn. Okay, into the next stitch, do an increasing stitch. Okay, and then one more where that marker is, do an increasing stitch. You can then remove the marker. We're going to count back 8 stitches from the hook and do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Stick your hook into the 8th stitch, yarn over, and pull through all the loops, and that is a slip stitch. You can remark the last stitch, the top of the last stitch that you made. Okay. Then we're going to go to round 3. So for round 3, it's pretty straightforward. We're going to do a chain 1 and then 8 single crochet stitches and a slip stitch. Let me gather up some more yarn here. Okay. And this book just, I need paperweight or something. Alright, so chain 1, and we're going to do 8 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, remove the marker. I hate working with small. I've been working with small kits like this for so long, I just can't do it anymore. Alright, count back 8 stitches from the hook and do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we're going to yarn over and slip through all the loops. And then before I mark the last stitch, you see how it's curling in, and we have the excess piece just sticking out in the middle of nowhere. This is the wrong side, so we're just going to flip this around to show the inside out, to show the right side. And then I'm going to take this excess piece and I'm just going to cram this down in there. Make sure that you don't crochet through the yarn there, so try to keep it down when you are doing your next round. But now I can go in here and I'm going to mark the last stitch that I made. Okay. And then we're going to do the next round. So for round 4, we have to chain 1, do 3 single crochet stitches, an increasing stitch 2 times, do a slip stitch, and end up with 10. So let's chain 1. We're going to do 3 single crochet stitches. 1, 2. I didn't clear that. There's a little strand. I really don't like this yarn. 2, 3. Then we're going to do the increasing stitch. 1, 2, and then we're going to repeat this one more time. So 3 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, and then do our increasing stitch. 1 and 2. All right, remove the marker. We're going to count back 10 and do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 10. Stick your hook into the 10th stitch, yarn over and pull through all loops, and then mark the last stitch you made. And then we're going to move on to round 5 through 7. So this is 5, 6, 7. We're going to chain 1, do 10 single crochet stitches, a slip stitch, and end up with 10. So this is pretty straightforward. So we're going to do this in silence, and then we'll come back, do the last round, and then see what it's going to ask us to do here. Okay, so for round 8, we're going to chain 1, do 3 single crochet stitches, a decreasing stitch 2 times, and end up with 8 stitches. So chain 1, do 3 single crochet stitches, 1, 2, 3, and then a decreasing stitch. We've done these. Into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. We have 3 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops, and then we just have to repeat this one more time. So 3 single crochet stitches, 1, 2, and 3, and then we're going to do a decreasing stitch. Okay, we have 3 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. I'm going to remove this marker because we're going to count 8 stitches and do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright, in the 8th stitch, stick your hook in. I'm going to yarn over and pull through all loops. Okay, so pretty much finished the ear. What does it say now? Using khaki yarn, sew 3 times in the middle of the ear between row 3 through 8. After finishing the crochet, leave 8 inches yarn tail. Cut the yarn and use the reserved yarn to sew the ears onto the head. Please refer to the video for specific crochet methods. Okay, so they probably should have had you finish off right here before going to khaki. So let me just do this now. Oops. All right. Measure 8 inches. Okay. I'm gonna cut this off. Okay. And again, to fasten off, you just yarn over and pull that through the loop all the way out. Tighten it up. Alright, so we have to sew the middle. We're just sewing the one side. So we're gonna get some khaki. I don't know how much we're gonna need. Maybe it was 8 inches. I don't know. Alright, get your tapestry needle. Thread up your eyelet hole on your needle. Okay. Then we are going to, okay, so if this is 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. So stick your hook, your needle inside up to where the 3rd row is. Right here. Oops. Right here. And it says 3 times in the middle, so I'm gonna do this. See how this is? I'm just gonna tie my knot already. Right? Don't tie it too tight, just tie it loosely enough so that it's the length of your ear. Twice. And once you have that, I'm just going to spin this knot so that it ends up on the inside. So I'm always looking for easier ways to tie knots and to sew. Alright, so now that knot is in the ear. We're going to go 3 more times around row 8 and 3. Try not to puncture the outside of the ear, because this is only shown on the inside of the ear. 2, one more time. And I personally don't think 1 time is okay. Okay. And once we have that done, let's see if I can, we're going to tie a knot again around itself. One, 2. Okay, then we're going to cut this and we'll be tucking this in so now we just have to make one more ear. We are going to be sewing this onto the ear. I mean, I personally would like to stuff the head before I do this. Let me see. Cut the yarn and use the reserve to sew the ears onto the head, please. Okay. Alright. So, and like I said, I'm going to make the second one off camera, but we are going to move on to the tail. So now we're just getting into the body parts. So let's make the tail. Gonna get my coffee color. I don't know what kind of coffee this is, but definitely not my coffee. Looks a little light. Alright, working into magic ring, we're going to chain 1, do 3 single crochet stitches and a slip stitch. So we've done this a bunch of times before. If you have missed it, you can just rewind back to where I drew the magic ring initially. But we are going to work this out. Looks like we're going to do the remaining parts, and then in the last video I will be assembling the pieces together. Okay, so let's do this tail. For a tail, it's got a lot of rounds. Okay, chain 1, and then we're going to do 3 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, then we have to close this up. I'm gonna hate this. This is gonna be the tiniest that I've ever done it. The lowest that I've gone is 4 single crochet stitches, not 3. So we're gonna have a lot of, or at least I'm going to have a lot of difficulty trying to slip stitch this for one, and then just handling it. 1, 2, 3, stick your hook into the 3rd chain from the hook, or 3rd stitch from the hook. We're going to do a slip stitch, and then try to mark off the last stitch you made with the slip stitch. Okay, and then we're going to go to round 2. Round 2 is chain 1, 3 increasing stitches, a slip stitch, and have 6 stitches at the end. So we're going to chain 1 and we're going to do increasing stitches 3 times. 1, 2. 1, 2. And last one. 1, 2. Okay, remove the marker. We're going to count back 6 and do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And do a slip. I'm just going to try to invert this already because it's really tiny. Okay. I'm going to slip this on here. Alright. Now for the next round, we have to do chain 1, 6 single crochet stitches and a slip stitch. So try your best to work around this excess piece. I might actually just cut this. You know what, let me do that now. I normally don't, but this is really tiny and I am just really not happy with how tiny this is. They make it seem like, you know, we're little elves, Keebler elves with tiny hands. Okay, hopefully nothing unravels with that, but we have no choice. I mean, I can't even stuff it in there. Okay, so now we're going to chain 1 and we're going to do 6 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. Gonna remove this. Count back 6 and do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Comment below, let me know how you're doing with this. I even put lotion on my hands, so I'm not having the best time right now. Let me know if you are. Alright, now for the next round, 5 and 6. Oh no, round 4, sorry. For round 4, we're going to chain 1, do 2 single crochet stitches, an increasing stitch 2 times, a slip stitch, and end up with 8 stitches. So let's chain 1, 2 single crochet stitches, 1, 2, an increasing stitch, and 2, and then we just have to repeat this one more time. 2 single crochet stitches, 1, 2, an increasing stitch, and 2. We're going to remove the marker. Count back 8 and do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Alright, now for round 5 and 6, we're going to chain 1, do 8 single crochet stitches, a slip stitch. And of course we'll end up with 8. So chain 1, 8 single crochet stitches, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, then 8. Okay, remove the marker. Count back 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do a slip stitch, and we're just going to repeat this one more time. I didn't get more than one marker because I think I can count 2 rounds. Sometimes it's disastrous and I can't. Like, I think I did just one so far. Okay, gathering up some yarn. We're going to chain 1 and we're going to do another 8 single crochet stitches. I have to count back because I can't see the yarn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay. Remove the marker. Count back 8 and do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let me just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Mark this up. All right, last round for the tail. So we're gonna do round 7, chain 1, 4 decreasing stitches, and end up with 4 stitches. Okay, so chain 1, 4 decreasing stitches. We've already done these. You can go back and look at the video for the decreasing instructions. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, remove the marker. We're going to count back 4 stitches and do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So tiny. Okay. Slip stitch. All right. After finishing, leave 6 inches yarn tail, cut the yarn, and use the reserve yarn to sew the tail on the body. Please refer to the video. Okay. So let's get my ruler. We're going to measure out 6 inches. Okay. Then I'm going to fasten this off. And we have we're going to tighten this up and we have our tail. Okay. So now we're going to do the mouth and nose. And this is going to use white. Now it looks like they're going to be using the plastic pieces for the nose. I'm gonna sew black yarn for the nose because I don't want, just like I did with the eyes, I don't want any plastic on here. Okay, working into a magic ring, we're gonna do chain 1, 6 single crochet stitches. So at least we're doing a bigger ring, which is always great. Okay. Alright, so we're going to chain 1 and do 6 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. Count back 6 and do a slip stitch. I'm going to mark our last stitch. Okay. For round 2, we're going to do 6 increasing stitches after a chain stitch and end up with 12 stitches. So chain 1, we're going to do 6 increasing stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yikes. 6. 3, 6, 9, 12. Okay, slip stitch. Mark your last stitch here. Okay. So now for round 3, we're going to do a chain 1, 3 single crochet stitches, an increasing stitch 3 times, and end up with 15. So ultimately I feel that they give you more than enough yarn to do one fawn, so you can make 2 so that your one is not lonely. Alright, chain 1, 3 single crochet stitches, 1, 2, and 3. Do an increasing stitch, 1, 2. Okay, we're going to do this 2 more times. 3 single crochet stitches, 1, 2, 3, an increasing stitch, 1, 2, and then we're going to repeat this 1 more time. 3 single crochet stitches, 1, 2, and 3, and then an increasing stitch, 1, 2, remove your marker. We're going to count back 15 and do a slip stitch. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Okay, so after finishing the crochet, it's just so weird, leave 8 inches yarn tail, cut the yarn, and use the reserve yarn to sew the mouth, the nose onto the head. Okay, so let's do 8 inches here. We're going to yarn over and pull through the loop, tighten it up. So now we have to do the nose and the mouth. So again, I am going to get some black yarn and I'm going to sew on the nose. This is not my best moment here. I think this video is already long. I would like to just finish this and get it out of the way, but I think it might be a little too much to do all the crochet and the assembly. So we're going to do the assembly in a separate video. Okay, so since we're here, and I'm not so worried about tying knots because we can see the underside, but I'm going to take this moment and I'm going to try to make this nose happen. So I'm going to leave a bit of end there so I can tie up the nose when I'm done with it, and then I want to make a triangle, so you just kind of have to look at it and then once you have that outline, you can just start filling it in with your yarn. It is obviously going to look a little different from what they show, but at least I have the peace of mind that the plastic part isn't going to get lost, ripped off, poke anybody, you know, all that jazz. Okay. Once I have that, I'm just gonna tie this. And then it looks like we're gonna grab the pink to do. And you know what? As I'm doing this, I'm realizing there's assembly instructions. I think it says it. Oh no. Yeah, it kind of says it. Oh well. Alright. Okay. Then I'm going to grab my pink. And the same thing with the black. I'm gonna leave some excess to use to tie everything together. But it's got like a T thing going on here. So, let's see. I actually want to double this up. Okay. Then I'm going to create the little smile. I don't know what happened there. Alright. Alright, simple smile like this. I'll tie this together. Try to tie it close to the center so that that can be easily tucked in later when we sew it onto the head. Okay, you guys. So, I have the mouth. We have the tail. I have the ear. I'm going to do the other ear off camera. We have the head. And here is the body. So we are well on our way to create this winter fawn before winter's over. So join me for the next part video where we'll be finishing this whole thing off, reading all the instructions, all that jazz. So comment below, let me know what you think. How far did you get? Were you able to do this? Are you going to use the plastic attachments, or are you going to just sew on the features of the fawn? At any rate, thank you guys so much for watching. This is Isms by Josie. Please share, like, and subscribe for future videos, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks. Bye.